Hello to all the participants. Thank you for being with us. Our monthly research talk for the month of April starts now because it's the first Tuesday of April, and just like every month, we will present today a research organization and research programs that are interesting for international researchers. So thanks to all of you for joining us. Today we have with us the Helmholtz Association, and I will present my the presenters to you in a second, but we would also like to get to know you, and that's why I'm presenting this little poll here, so thanks for answering it. Today we have with us as experts and representatives from the Helmholtz Association Dr. Mona Florian. She is in charge of the talent management activities at the Helmholtz head office, and she's responsible for the Helmholtz Young Investigator Groups program, as well as the Helmholtz Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Initiative, and we will hear a little bit more about that later. Also with us today is Stefanie Robersliever, and she is in charge of the Research Grants Program at HIDA, which is the Helmholtz Information and Data Science Academy. So if data science is your topic, it's perfectly today. You will receive a lot of information about that. Just a word about me. I'm Anne Knab from the German Academic Exchange Service and from the Research in Germany initiative, as you also can see on my roll-up behind me. And the aim of our initiative is to inform international scientists about their research opportunities in Germany. So I see that some of you already answered the poll, and I think it's perfect because more or less the half of you, a little bit a bigger share, hold a master's degree. So you probably are looking for a PhD position, or could be the next step, at least in your career. And also a big part of you has already holds a doctorate, a PhD, and could perhaps start a postdoc position now. So it's good to have this overview. Thanks for participating in the poll. And I see that there's still some more guests coming in, but nevertheless, we only our monthly research talks usually are more or less half an hour, and they start with a short presentation, perhaps 5, sometimes 10 minutes, and a Q&A session afterwards, where you can are welcome to ask questions about the presented programs. And because of that, now we are going to proceed to the presentation that is uploaded here, and that will be held by Mona and Stefanie. So Mona and Stefanie, the floor is yours, and thanks for your presentation and for being with us.
Thank you very much, Anne, for your very kind introduction and also for the invitation to present the Helmholtz Association in the monthly research talk. Here we're very excited to talk to you and to also get to know you a little bit better in the Q&A session and to understand what you're looking for. My name is Mona Florian, as has already been introduced, and together with my colleague Stefanie, we will guide you through some of the talent management activities of the Helmholtz Association. I will start with a very short overview about the organization per se. Helmholtz is a very complex organization, as you can see on this slide. So the Helmholtz Association consists of 18 legally independent research centers who do research in 6 different research fields. Our main focus is on STEM. So we have mostly 6 research fields present who are coordinated by the different research centers that I've just presented on the slide before. And the most interesting thing about Helmholtz is, as you might know from elsewhere, that we really have a focus on interdisciplinary science. So our research fields serve the purpose to somehow establish good interdisciplinary connections and also good connections and partnerships between the 18 research centers around those research topics that you see on this slide, which are energy research, earth and environment, health, aeronautics, space and transport, matter, and the whole topic of information. That means the 18 research centers do research in one or more research fields and thus are very much connected through research topics, but also some of the strategic tasks that they want to accomplish are pooled in the Helmholtz Association. So the Helmholtz Association, of which my colleague Stephanie and I are part of, is kind of a supra-organization to manage some strategic tasks that all the research centers want to accomplish, such as talent management. So that's why we are here. We're part of this supra level of these 18 centers and thus are representatives for the more overarching tasks and responsibilities that are at the core of the organizational interest. As talent management is at the very core of Helmholtz missions, it's for us very important also to use these formats to get to know prospective talents and also somehow give a face to the Helmholtz associations, as we have this very, very complex structure with different centers, different research fields, and different locations spread all across Germany. So if you are a curious mind and are interested in researching the grand challenges of our times, as our purpose says, it is a good idea to check out the opportunities that you have with Helmholtz. We have, as we are such a complex organization, very different ways how you can come to Helmholtz and become part of the Helmholtz community. The first way and the first pillar of our talent management activities are the talent management activities of the 18 legally independent Helmholtz centers who are spread all across Germany. See, all these Helmholtz centers have their own talent management activities at different entry levels and also career stages. So for those of you who have a master's degree and are looking for a PhD position, we have structured doctoral programs in graduate schools, in international research schools, but also offer individual PhD in research groups and labs. Then we have obviously postdoc positions available. We have also a career development program at this level at the Helmholtz Center, which are counseling units that help postdocs to plan their career in academia but also beyond. And further on, we also offer not only recruitment activities but also career development activities at levels further up the ladder at group leader level, but also at professor level. Then we have the second pillar. Now I come to the middle of this slide, the association level. This is where we are located basically. We are at the supra level of these 18 research centers and have the task to do strategic talent management at different career stages through prizes, for example. So we have the Helmholtz Doctoral Prize, which is a prize that is given to the most impressive results of PhD studies in the Helmholtz cosmos, but we also have respective funding lines that help people not only to come to Helmholtz, but also to build a career within Helmholtz and beyond. And one of these programs is the Helmholtz Young Investigator Groups program, which I will elaborate on a little bit more in a bit, and then also the Helmholtz Distinguished Professorships program, which is at professorship level. Then we have the Helmholtz Information and Data Science Academy, which is the third pillar of our talent management activities, which is directed, as the name already says, at people who are interested in information and data science activities. It's a network activity, and Stephanie, who is from the HIDA, the Helmholtz Information and Data Science Academy, will explain a little bit more about these activities in a bit. But let me first introduce you to one of our flagship programs, one of our flagship founding programs, which is the Helmholtz Young Investigator Groups program. This program, this funding line, helps people who have already a PhD and some postdoc experience to set up their own first independent research group at one of our centers. It comes with a funding of 300,000 euros a year for a 5 years period, and it helps you to not only create your own research group, but also establish yourselves as a researcher in a non-universitary context in Germany. Along with this possibility comes the opportunity to receive professional leadership training, so we also help people who overtake the first leadership position in science with professional leadership training, and also give option for a permanent contract upon positive evaluation. The target group are people who have 2 to 6 years postdoc experience, which is, of course, the academic age. So if you, for example, after your PhD, if you have had children or had other care responsibilities, this period can be extended for some time. And there are different possibilities to do so also for people who have had problems to do the research throughout Corona. There are possibilities to extend the academic age. Then you have to have at least 6 months experience in a research organization outside of Germany, and you have to be an external candidate or only be at a Helmholtz Center for less than 1 year. So it's quite, in a nutshell, quite attractive opportunity as a person after your PhD to early gain scientific independence and have very attractive conditions to set up your own lab and use also big infrastructure that our Helmholtz research centers provide. Now we go on to some information about the information and data science activities, and for this I hand over to Stephanie.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this, Mona. Yeah, hello also to everyone from my side. My name is Stephanie and I am in charge of the research grants at HIDA, Helmholtz Information and Data Science Academy. We're very happy to be here with you today, and I would like to just jump right to it and introduce to you the Helmholtz Information Data Science Academy. We are Germany's largest postgraduate training network in the field of information and data sciences. We have over about 6 data science research schools under our roof, and over 280 PhD students within the school. So you can see this is a really big network within the field of data and information science, which is one of the strategic fields of the Helmholtz Association. We have different things and opportunities and offer for you. We have, for instance, our international network of partners that also work with data sciences in different countries, the so-called Friends of HIDA network. We undertake worldwide recruiting activities, and we also employer branding and recruiting for all of the 18 Helmholtz centers that Mona kindly introduced earlier on. Then we do have one dedicated data science job kind of database that we will also be happy to share the link with you later on, where you can find jobs specifically with a focus on data science. We have many different other things. For instance, one of our big programs that we have available also for external researchers are our training with everything related to the data sciences. Please check out our website for ongoing activities and for workshops. We really have a lot of different hackathons we offer, and different things that you can be part of, also virtually. And last but not least, we do have funding opportunities available for you at the PhD, but also at the postdoc level, and I would like to go into this in a bit more detail just now. So let's hop to the next slide. So one of the funding opportunities we have available, as I said, for doctoral students and for postdocs is the so-called Helmholtz Visiting Researcher Grant. What is this grant? So it basically enables short-term research stays for researchers from external institutions who want to go to one of the 18 Helmholtz centers that Mona described earlier on. This grant enables self-organized, fully funded short-term research stays for projects that have a very strong link to the data or information sciences at one of the 18 Helmholtz centers. So this is really for people from many different fields. The only thing that has to be given is a strong connection to the data sciences if you want to apply for this grant. The aim of the program is to kick off new collaborations, to apply your data science skills and expand your research portfolio, and of course to give talent from all over the world that works with the focus on data science also some insights and some first link to the Helmholtz Association so that you can get to know us and our centers and the work they do better. We have 2 application deadlines a year in mid-March and in mid-October, so you see that the next deadline that is going to come up for this program is going to be in October. So let's now have a quick look at who can apply. So as I said, this grant is open to doctoral students and postdoc researchers, in exceptional cases also MA holders, and people from external institutions such as universities, research organizations, or also industry worldwide can apply. So you can see that this is really a pretty open to many different people from many different backgrounds. As I said, the project needs to have a strong link to the applied data and information science, and it is open to all nationalities from German and from international institutions. So even if you are an international researcher working at a German university at the moment or doing your PhD at a German university, you would be eligible to apply for this grant. Duration is 1 to 3 months, and the funding period usually starts within the next 12 months after acceptance into the program. Let's have a quick look at the terms of awards of this grant. So basically this gives you a monthly stipend to cover living costs that starts at approximately 2,800 euros, which is pretty generous, I would say. And where applicable, there's even additional allowances such as mobility allowances or allowance for if you want to bring your family, if you have a kid that you bring along on the research stage. So I would say it's really a pretty generous stipend. If you want more information on all the details of the grant, you can always check out our website or also contact me directly. You will see my email address one of the following slides. So maybe let's ask the very important question that comes up if you're interested in applying for this grant. How can I actually find a host supervisor at Helmholtz? So you could check out the website of the 18 Helmholtz centers to see what research groups we have, what they are currently working on. You could ask your supervisors or your colleagues if they know someone at Helmholtz maybe that could be interesting for your research project or your home research group. Then as another option, we have our database of Helmholtz hosts available. You can see the link here. It's on the Helmholtz Information and Data Science Academy website. Basically, this is a database with scientists at Helmholtz that would be happy to host a young researcher such as you are in their group. You can find information on their research project, what they're currently working on, the methods they use, how you could participate in the project, and so on and so on. On this website, I think it's really pretty helpful, and you will also find their direct contact details on the website. So this would also be a good way of how to go about finding a host at Helmholtz. And when you actually apply, we have a selection process afterwards. All the applications are being evaluated by our HIDA steer committee, which consists of different professors of all of the different research areas that we have at Helmholtz. And the factors for selection they look on is actually the quality and originality of the research proposal, your motivation, the benefit for your home group and also for the host group, and of course the feasibility of the project. Like, is it, for instance, is it plausible that you could do the project in a given time frame, etc., etc. So you see that there's many different opportunities that we have available for you at Helmholtz. And to sum this up, maybe we put together the slide for you. So how to find open positions. How can you go about finding open positions at Helmholtz? Please check out the respective websites of the Helmholtz centers, especially for the area or the research field that is of interest for you. You can there find different job vacancies on the website. You could also check out the Helmholtz Association website of our Helmholtz head office, where we have the career page. And if you are looking for opportunities with a focus on data and information sciences, then HIDA is here for you. Please check out the website. As I said, we have different trainings available. We have career days. We have hackathons. We have our dedicated data science job database. So, and we also have a newsletter that really gives you a lot of great news on what's going on and opportunities that we have available. So please sign up for our newsletter. And yeah, last but not least, as I mentioned already, the data science job vacancies that we have also on the HIDA website. All right, so I think that's it with the quick overview that we have for you about Helmholtz and HIDA today. Thank you very, very much for having us here today, and thank you very much for listening in. And if you do have questions, then we're more than happy to answer them now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie, for the presentation. I think that was really a very useful and yeah, very good overview. Also for me, it was very interesting. I think my camera picture is frozen. No, now it works again. So yeah, I think you already answered many questions people might have had. But to the participants, I nevertheless would like to say now is your chance to ask even more questions. If something is perhaps not clear to you, yeah, ask about details about the application process. Also, if there's something you would like Stephanie and Mona to repeat because you would like to have it confirmed, that's possible too, of course. And I think now it's also the time to inform you that this webinar is being recorded, because there was a question in the chat if these slides can be made available after the session. So first of all, the session is being recorded, and we also prepared a download for you, which will be, when the session is finished, we will switch to another pod. Those views or those windows here are called pods, and there is a download for you also with more information about Helmholtz. So yes, you can have all those information and the slides in the recording afterwards, and in the download. Yeah, perhaps you can say something about the download shortly, just for the others. It's an overview, right, that you sent to me?
Overview with the most important links that you can find your own way through our career offers and also for possible entry levels. So it's a good first start if you want to start your search on our websites.
Okay, thank you. I also have to mention that Julia, our colleague Julia Altmann, posts useful links in the chat. You can also click those links, so this is technically possible in Adobe Connect. And there is already one question in the chat, and I think you read it already, but I'm still reading aloud also. So the question is the visiting researcher program only applicable to data science or to other fields as well?
Very good question. Thank you so much for that. So basically, it's open to all fields. The only thing we need you to have in order to be eligible to apply is a strong link to the data science. So I'm going to give you an example. If you are a biologist but you work on a project where you use big data or lots of data and work with the different methods of the data sciences, then you can, for instance, apply. So your subject doesn't have to be data science as such, if that makes it a bit more clear. I don't know if that answers the question.
I think it does, and at least I think I understand it a little bit better also now. So did I understand it correctly? Perhaps I also misunderstood it, but is it that if you're working with big data, then it's also relevant for you?
Yeah, as soon as
is this correct? So it's more that...
Yeah, as soon as there is...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, as soon as there is a strong link, it depends on the project. You could also email us if you're really very unsure if the project is eligible for the grant. You can always email me directly. But in general, you can really say that it's pretty broad. It just has to have a clear link to the data sciences or working with methods of data sciences so that you can apply.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then it's really, I think, broad because, yeah, many scientists have those connections. Great. Thanks. Thanks for clarifying this. I see that there's some further question, but perhaps I still ask because there were also you also had the possibility to ask questions when you were registering, and there were some questions about the fields that Helmholtz works in, and you presented those fields already in your presentation. And I know that it's mainly biological, medical, and technical fields. But as it's also such a big organization, do you also have positions for people from other fields, perhaps because it's multidisciplinary sometimes? Perhaps you could give us some more insights into that.
So basically speaking, we offer opportunities for everyone who is from the STEM field. So medicine, information science, data science, sciences in general, engineering as well. And we have some opportunities for people who are from the social sciences as well. So for example, at the German Aerospace Center, which is also a Helmholtz Center, there are people who work on sleep deprivation, for example, and there you have also psychologists who do research together with engineers on how to prevent sleep deprivation in aircrafts, for example. But those are to some extent limited. So our clear focus is on STEM, but we have also people present in the research community who have different and diverse disciplinary backgrounds. The focus is on STEM, though. That's very clear. We have also entry opportunities if you're not a researcher but are interested in working in science management. Obviously, we also have, we are a big organization, so we have 42,000 people who work at Helmholtz, and we have also good opportunities for people to do more strategic tasks in science management for people who are from the humanities or also from social sciences and looking for ways beyond mere academia but want to stay close at academia as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, thanks for clarifying this. I think that was very clear now, and everybody's oriented now about the research focus. So I will skip to the next question. It is how do we get access with professors since some of the sponsors request for approval of the host? I think so.
I think I understand the question.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So if you understand.
I think it's a very specific question relating to the Helmholtz visiting grant, I think. So I'm just going to jump right in and take over. So thank you. It's a very important question because you're right. When you apply for the Helmholtz visiting grant, during the application process, you have to submit a form so that the host supervisor at the Helmholtz Center kind of confirms that he accepts you for a visiting stay and fills in some information. So basically, the process is that before applying on our application portal, you have to contact a scientist at Helmholtz tell them why you want to work with them, quickly introduce yourself and your research project, and if they confirm that they want to host you for a research day, then within the application process you send that form. And it is correct that sometimes it can be hard to first get in touch with the professors you contact at Helmholtz, because as you know, these scientists are very, very busy people, especially the senior scientists, I guess all the scientists in general. So sometimes they do not reply to requests immediately. So what we suggest is that you just contact them again. And if you really do not manage to get a reply from them directly, you could also try to contact a staff scientist, for instance, in your group. So maybe you are lucky with this approach. So we really encourage our applicants to try again and try again if they do not receive a reply immediately. And if you really can't find a host or you need some help with the whole process, then you can also always contact the HIDA directly. I hope that helps a little bit at least. But I know we have had cases of people who were accepted into the program who did not get a reply of the professor they were trying to contact immediately, and they just tried again and again, and in the end it all worked out and it was a very good experience for everyone. So please don't be discouraged.
Yeah, so thank you for these motivating words. There was one more question, but before I read it, I also would like to mention that Julia also posts some useful links here. So my colleague Julia Altmann. So the next question is, are there any program opportunities for collaboration with researchers at Helmholtz for non-students and external partners, for example, international researchers, early career professors, so like a co-grant writing, something like this. So you're nodding, so does it mean,
so I'm going to
give us some more information?
I'm also going to, maybe for the general answer, I'm going to give to Mona first, so she can answer for the general programs for Helmholtz, and then I can answer for the data science part of HIDA. I don't know, how does that sound, Mona?
Yeah, sounds good. So actually, we do not have any specific programs to give grants to collaboration projects of Helmholtz external and Helmholtz internal researchers. But obviously, this is something that happens quite a lot. And I know from the research group leaders program, the Helmholtz Young Investigator Group Leaders program that I am in charge of at the head office, that quite many of those are in very dense networks of collaboration and do third-party funding applications together with also external partners. So it's something that we encourage and which is totally possible, albeit we do not have a specific funding line that addresses this. But it happens all the time, so this is something that I can say to you. And if you're interested in collaborating with one of our researchers, it's always a good idea to reach out and make a connection and see what is possible. So this is the general answer, and Stephanie, you can maybe take up for the HIDA answer.
Sure, thank you so much. So as I said, I can only answer for HIDA, so only for the visiting researcher grant, which where your project needs to have a strong link to the data or information sciences. For us, really, so if you work in a field and your project has that strong link to data sciences, then it's really pretty broad, the program. You can apply if you are a doctoral student, you can apply if you are a postdoc, and what's very interesting to know for many international researchers out there is that we do not have an age limit. Or we don't have any, like you could even be a professor and assistant professor, et cetera, and be eligible to apply for the grant. So our definition of postdoc is pretty broad, really. A lot of different other funding programs at other German organizations have a rule that you, the moment where you have obtained your PhD shouldn't be longer than 6 years ago, something like that. We do not have anything like that. So even if you are a professor, you could apply for the Helmholtz Visiting Researcher Grant, and the funding is really pretty generous, as I said. So so maybe that's a possibility for you there if you work with data sciences.
Yeah, thank you for your answers. And I think to sum it up, we can No, there are many opportunities, and the question of about the age limit was actually asked also in the registration questions. So it's good that we have that answered also. So thanks for that. Um, and I think what we just learned in the last half an hour, that there are many opportunities and that it's worth looking more detailed into it, especially if you're working in the STEM field. And now our time is almost up, but everybody who's still listening, we still have some take-home messages for you and a little poll about the short online talk afterwards, and there you can also find the download. Like I said, the session has been recorded, and Julia posted the link to the recording in the chat. And now I would like to ask Mona if you have a take-home message for the participants.
The take-home message to me would be to check out the websites that we have provided. We are such a big organization that you will find something that is interesting for you there, and we offer really a good network and good opportunities to not only make connections but to expand your career in Germany but also in Europe and international academia. That would be my take-home message.
Thank you so much. So
I
Stephanie,
think this is a
what's
very,
your
very
take-home?
good take-home message that Mona gave you for the whole of Helmholtz. So I just would like to add that if you have a focus on data sciences, or if you're just vaguely interested in working with methods from the data sciences, then please check out the HIDA website. We have a lot of different trainings available for you, and different career days, our database for data science jobs, etc., etc. So please check out the website, and thank you very, very much for your interest in Helmholtz and for joining us for this talk today. And thank you for hosting this wonderful talk, Anne and Julia.
Yeah, thank you. I also have take-home message, and my take-home message is that at Research in Germany we have more additional information available for international researchers who would like to do research in Germany. Also, we will have a next research talk in May. It's not announced yet, but if you're interested in it, just have a look at our websites. And we have, apart from this, also webinar series coming up in June. So it would be great if you could give it a look. And with these words, I would like to thank again so much Mona and Stephanie for giving us all those useful information. Thanks a lot, and also thank you, the participants, for being with us. And now I will skip to the little poll and the download, just as promised. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being with us.